Hey, Googans, welcome in. Hey, after drill here, beef solo today. No Drew as he's off at TPC Sawgrass today doing a charity run. The assorted media members are gathered at TPC Sawgrass for a charity event. Drew tag teaming up with our guy Gatsby, Ryan Nehammer, the bus driver for 1010XL. We found the two fittest dudes here at the station and sent them out there to get it on. I don't know how they're faring. I did see a picture on Dan Hickens' phone earlier of Drew on the ground, gasping for air. Now, I don't know if that was after he had lost badly or after he gave it his all like a champion. Can't say for sure. We'll find out tomorrow when Drew rejoins us for After Drill. But for now, you've got me on a Tuesday edition. Hope you guys have licked your wounds from Dallas and are turned your weary eyes forward towards the Houston Texans who roll in on Sunday. Of course, big game, Jags three-way tie atop the AFC South with Houston and Tennessee, along with Jacksonville, of course, Indy, the dregs of the AFC South, bringing up the rear down at 1-5. The Colts are a nightmare outside of Andrew Luck. They have very little on that roster. But the Jags, it could be a big momentum game and a big, game as far as those division standings go if they're able to handle the Texans on Sunday down at TIAA Bank Field. Of course, then they'll be away for a couple weeks as they they have the game in London and then the bye week coming up. So, last chance in October to see the Big Cats in action. So get out there if you can and cheer on the good guys as they take on Houston. Houston comes in. Jags favored by 4.5 in this one. They were favored by 3 going into Dallas too. So, I guess grain of salt on that one with the way the last couple weeks have gone. But, Doug Marrone, he was pretty candid in his Monday media availability. Said it's time to kind of tighten up the bootstraps and, figure it out, or it's going to be, as Doug put it, a long-ass season. So, the Jags have a lot to figure out, and they've got some weak spots they have to plug holes in, but hopefully they can find some answers on Sunday. They need Leonard Fournette back. Look, I know it's not the be-all, end-all. We talked about this yesterday on the drill. They probably would have lost both these games with Leonard Fournette. The running game isn't what let them down the last couple weeks. So it's not like Leonard Fournette would have made the difference, but just for depth and for the tone this team likes to set offensively, they need Leonard Fournette back. Jamal Charles is a nice player. He's had a great career. He doesn't have a lot left in the tank. I know he wants to prove that he has something left in the tank, but if Sunday in Dallas was any indication, granted, look, he didn't have a lot of practice time. He just came in and signed. So maybe this Sunday against Houston will be another story, but didn't show a whole lot against Dallas. And look, TJ Yeldon has run well, but he's dinged up. And outside of that, they don't have much going for him in the running game. They need Leonard Fournette back. And look, tight end's looking real scarce right now too. So it's rough, man. We talked about this all off season, how the Jags had such a good year last year. They won the division. They went to the AFC title game. You know that. And one of the big stories we talked about was all season they were so fortunate when it came to injuries. They were so not hurt all year, and it was a big factor into why they were so successful last year, and they haven't been even remotely fortunate when it comes to injuries this year. They've been the exact opposite of that. They have had incredibly bad luck when it comes to injuries because they've lost not just bodies, but critical contributors to the team. They've lost left and right across the board, just tallied up. They've lost so many dudes from Cam Robinson going out, and then Marquise Lee going out, and now Fournette's barely played. I mean, those are 3 big parts of your offense that you thought were going to be big factors for you going into the season, and they've been non-existent for the most part for this team, and they've got to figure it out. And look, Sunday against Dallas, the tackles weren't really the issue. Josh Walker came in as the 3rd-string tackle with Wells now also on IR, and he did a good job. And Jeremy Parnell seemed to rebound from a rough game in Kansas City and did a good job. It was the dudes up the middle that were getting absolutely rocked by the Dallas Cowboys, and that's been an issue. The big free agent acquisition in the offseason, Andrew Norwell, he's played well at times, but he has struggled at times as well, and Brandon Linder has had some struggles as well too so far this season. So hopefully it can gel. Otherwise, like Doug Marrone said, it's going to be a long rest of the year for the Big Cats. Not to say, even if it's a long rest of the year, not to say that the Jags still aren't an 8-8, 9-7 type team and still in contention, if not winning the AFC South. But, perception being what it is and the expectations being so very different as we came into this season, even if they finished with the identical same record as last year, 10-6, it would feel a whole lot different than it did last year. Last year felt like a tremendous achievement, rattling off that kind of record, and this year it would feel like a great disappointment. And right now, it feels like we're headed that way, but it remains to be seen. On top of that, I know not everybody out there is a hoop junkie, but if you are, the NBA season tips off tonight. Granted, most of you guys don't really care or tune into the NBA until Christmas, and I understand it. I don't blame you. The 82-game NBA season is a long haul, even for the hardcore fans. So I understand if you're not going to tune in until the big Christmas quintuple header rolls your way. But if you're into it, there's two real good games tonight with Philly and Boston, and then Golden State against Oklahoma City. So it's two nice games if you're inclined to watch the hoops over, say, the playoff baseball. But man, talking about the playoff baseball, woo! It feels like these two series are championship bouts, right? They're going to go the distance. I mean, the Red Sox and Astros don't seem like either team's letting up. And yesterday, just when you thought maybe after the Dodgers got Game 2 in Milwaukee and brought it home that, they might find a way to kind of grab this series by the throat and handle the Brewers. But credit to Milwaukee as Julie Chassin and the Milwaukee bullpen came in and just shut it down, man. 4-0. Chassin has been lights out this entire postseason. He destroyed my Cubs in the wild card game. Or in the tiebreaker game, I should say. And he was good in the division round for them as well. So it's, he's been really, really good. Still no earned runs for Chassin in the postseason. I think he's upwards, if not at 16, right around 16 innings pitched with no earned runs. So it's an incredible run for him and the Brewers, and their bullpen is so good that the Brewers are a real threat. So this one might go the distance too. If you like intense playoff baseball, man, you've got it. You may not care much for these teams that are left. If you're like me and a lot of people around Jacksonville, where there's a lot of Braves fans and a lot of Cubs fans, a lot of Yankee fans, you don't have a rooting interest necessarily. Although if you're a Yankee fan, you're probably rooting against the Boston Red Sox. And I find myself as a Cubs fan watching this NLCS, and I really can't stand either one of these teams. But I find that it bothers me less when Milwaukee wins, if that makes any sense. It makes me less angry when Milwaukee wins. I guess I hate the Dodgers more. So I will. I'll bid you guys farewell. Drew will be back tomorrow. Hopefully, if he survived this relay race with Gatsby out at Sawgrass, hopefully he lived. And tune in tomorrow. It's a Wednesday. It's a hump day on the drill. That means Get Smart John. And we'll have a real good time there as well. So we look forward to catching up with Johnny, and we hope you tune in as well. Until tomorrow, I'll see you then. We love you, Googans. Bye.